You see, most men handle disrespect the wrong way. They think the key is to confront it, to fight it, to respond with equal force. If she says something insulting, they try to say something sharper. If she pulls away, they chase harder. If she makes them feel small, they try to prove they're big. But here's the thing. When you react to disrespect in that way, you've already surrendered the power. You've told her that her opinion controls your emotional state, that her approval is the air you breathe. A Stoic man knows better. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, taught that your peace comes from within, and the moment you give control of it to someone else, you've already lost. So when disrespect comes your way, the strongest thing you can do is to not give it life, not feed it, not let it pull you into chaos. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 silent moves that will make a woman regret disrespecting you, not because you manipulated her, but because you carried yourself with such dignity that losing you becomes her loss entirely. And I want you to understand, these moves aren't games. They're principles. They work because they align with human psychology and timeless philosophy. Let me paint you a picture. You're at a dinner party. The room is full of people, laughter, conversation. And in the middle of a casual discussion, she makes a remark, not playful teasing, but a cutting comment that undermines you in front of others. Most men would laugh it off, but inside they'd be boiling. Others would snap back with a defensive comment, trying to regain their ground. A Stoic man doesn't do either. He pauses, looks her in the eye, and without a word, he stands up, pushes in his chair, and leaves. No explanation. No raised voice. No dramatic scene. Just absence. That kind of silence is heavy. It shifts the energy in the room. It makes everyone, including her, realize something just happened. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." If she lowers herself to disrespect, you don't lower yourself to match it. When you leave quietly, you give her space to hear her own echo. And believe me, that echo is louder than any words you could have spoken in that moment. She will remember that you didn't try to convince her of your worth. You simply removed it from her presence. Disrespect isn't always a loud insult. Sometimes, it's subtle. It's taking your presence for granted. It's assuming you'll always be there, no matter how you're treated. And most men make it worse by proving them right, by answering every text instantly, by canceling their own plans at the smallest request, by living as if her attention is oxygen. Here's what you do instead. When someone treats you carelessly, you don't lecture them about valuing your time. You simply make your time harder to access. You start focusing on the gym, on your work, on hobbies you neglected, on spending time with people who genuinely respect you. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." When you stop wasting your time, people notice. The woman who used to think she could reach you instantly now stares at her phone, wondering why your replies are slower, why you're suddenly busy. You didn't announce anything. You didn't post about cutting toxic people out. You simply became harder to reach, and that absence forces her to realize what she's losing. This is my favorite one because it's the one that hits the hardest. When disrespect comes, most men either sulk or overcompensate. They post selfies trying to look happy. They share quotes about self-worth to show they're unbothered. A Stoic man? He disappears and transforms. No announcements. No "watch me level up" posts. He hits the gym religiously. He works on his career. He reads more, learns more, travels, experiences life. And then months later, maybe a year, he crosses paths with her again. And she sees a man sharper, stronger, more confident than she remembers. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." You don't need to tell her you've grown. Your presence will tell the story. And here's the beauty. Her regret won't come from missing who you were. It will come from realizing she disrespected a man who kept growing without her. This is where most men fail. They think controlling the situation means controlling her. But that's impossible. The only thing you can control is your reaction. Picture this. She's upset. She throws a sarcastic remark your way. Maybe she even tries to provoke you into a fight. The average man fires back. He raises his voice. He says things he'll regret later. The Stoic man? He doesn't bite. He listens. He lets the storm pass. And when he speaks, his words are measured, calm, deliberate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you stay calm under provocation, you send a silent but powerful message. You cannot be pulled into chaos you didn't create. And that kind of composure stays in a person's mind. Because most people aren't used to it. They're used to buttons they can push to get a reaction. When those buttons stop working, they start questioning themselves. This is the move most men struggle with. Because it's final. When someone disrespects you beyond repair, when patterns repeat and trust is broken, you don't punish them by half-heartedly staying. You don't linger, hoping they'll change. You let go. Completely. Not in a way that's fueled by anger. Not in a way that seeks to make them jealous. But in a way that's rooted in peace. You don't check their social media. You don't hope for a text. You don't wait for an apology. You just move on. Why is this so powerful? Because in most cases, people expect a door to remain open. They expect you to still be there just in case. When they realize that door is not only closed, but locked forever, that's when the deepest regret hits. The kind of regret that doesn't fade. These silent moves aren't tricks. They're the natural actions of a man who knows his value. Walking away without explaining. Reducing your availability. Elevating yourself in silence. Controlling your reactions. Letting go completely. Each one is a reminder. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how much access they get to you. Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering them. It's about not letting your mood, your actions, or your self-worth depend on someone else's behavior. And when you live like this, you don't need to make anyone regret disrespecting you. Your life itself becomes the proof that losing you was their mistake. Because in the end, silence, when it comes from strength, speaks louder than anything you could ever say.